Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the 2024 VRC Pro World Championships here for Dirt Oval 8-scale electric buggy. Here's your starting lineup for our A-main action. Top qualifier, wouldn't you know it, the one and only Jimmy Flack. Tone sounds, we're off and underway here. Jimmy leading us out. Jimmy Flack so far this year once again has gone undefeated in the categories and classes in oval that we've seen so far. Is this a race that he will be overthrown, or will he continue his dominance? As you can see right now, Jimmy Flack out front leading the way in the blue and white. We got Billy Caley in the number 2 spot, Andrea Navati in the number 3 spot, Christoph Wienert in the number 4 spot, and Stefan Sidler in the 5 spot. Your race leader down the backstretch into 3, coming out of turn 4, down the front straight. I tell you what, Billy Caley right now only a 1/10 of a second back from Jimmy Flack. This is the first time in perhaps VRC Pro Dirt Oval history that I have seen anyone this close to Jimmy Flack. And ladies and gentlemen, Billy Caley takes over the number 1 spot now. Billy Caley moves ahead of Jimmy Flack. This is a first right now. Jimmy Flack has dropped back to the number 2 spot. Billy Caley up in the number 1 spot, and it looks like Caley is actually stretching out a bit of a lead here in this one. Unbelievable. Flack trying to find his way back here, coming into turn 3, coming out of turn 4. We are only 1 minute into this race. This is wild. Flack to the inside. Beautiful move right there for Jimmy Flack. An 8.8 second lap, that time by an 8.834. Billy Caley still holding on to the number 1 spot though. Flack down the backstretch as they come into turn 3, coming out of turn 4. Watch Flack right here. Flack goes wide, sets him up into 1, coming out of 2. Flack's got the line there, but Billy Caley gets the drive off of turn 2. Down the backstretch they go. Stefan Sidler in the number 4 spot right now, chasing down Noah Schwartz in the 3 spot. What a race we have going here, ladies and gentlemen. 11 laps into this one. Billy Caley leads the way. Can Billy Caley hold on to this one? Sidler right there at 8.983 that time by an 8.997 for him. So Sidler's on a move here as well. Your top 3 qualifier. Started 3rd on the grid. Here is Billy Caley, ladies and gentlemen. I am blown away here. Caley has turned up the heat. Could this be the end of Jimmy Flack's undefeated season in VRC Pro? Flack coming into turn 3, coming out of turn 4, down the front stretch they go. Caley going to be 0.4 seconds ahead of him right now as they come into a bit of traffic here in this one. That's going to be Chirini right there ahead of him. Caley backing around to the front side, that time by an 8.854, 8.9 the lap before, and 8.8 before that. Billy Caley's really figured out this buggy coming into this one. He's got that 0.4 of a second lead right now over Jimmy Flack in 2nd, Noah Schwartz in 3rd, Sidler in 4th, Gebauer in the number 5 spot, Wienert, Navati, Cognon, Sloba, and Chirini. Your running order here in this one. Stefan Sidler in the number 4 spot, closing the gap up on Noah Schwartz now. Down the backstretch, that's going to be the battle for 3rd and 4th. Schwartz coming down the front stretch out of turn 4. He's got Sidler right there behind him. Jerry Gebauer going to be the number 5 spot. Christoph Wienert in the 6th spot. Billy Caley, ladies and gentlemen, still leading the way here in this one. Jimmy Flack chasing him down into turn 3, coming out of turn 4. They're coming up on some lap traffic. We'll see if that plays a part in this one. That's going to be Svoba. Caley gets by. Chase cam here on Jimmy Flack. Back down the front stretch here in this one. Tell you what, Billy Caley not only has gotten out front, but he's holding on, and the pressure is not getting to him. But ladies and gentlemen, look at that lap time right there from Jimmy Flack. 8.780. 1/10 of a second. Jimmy Flack knows consistency is all it's going to take to win this one. But Billy Caley, I tell you what, he is on a move. This is amazing racing here between these two drivers. As you can see, working their way back through more lap traffic. That's going to be Cognon just ahead of them there. Coming into turn 1, coming out of turn 2. Billy Caley getting caught up just a little bit there. 1/10 of a second between them. Down the front stretch they go now. 3:45 into this one. They're going to be right there together coming out of turn 2. Down the backstretch into turn 3 now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Flack to the lead now. Flack taking over the number 1 spot. 1,000th of a second ahead of Billy Caley in the number 2 spot. Schwartz in the 3 spot. Sidler in the 4. Gebauer in the 5. Wienert, Navati, Cognon, Sloba, and Chirini. Your running order. 4:10 into this one. Jimmy Flack back to the front where he knows best. He's got Billy Caley, though. I tell you what, Caley is not shaken up by this one. He's still only, look at Caley all over the back wing of Jimmy Flack right now. Coming into 3 out of 4 once again. These two drivers, this is some of the closest racing we have ever seen in VRC Pro Dirt Oval action. Coming out of turn 4, back down the front stretch now. Caley diving to the inside. He's going to try and make the move there. Flack with the drive off turn 2. Flack in the blue and white. Billy Caley in the red and white. Down the front stretch again. 8.817 last time by the line there for Jimmy Flack. Caley trying to work her way around the outside right there. Flack holds a good line there. Caley up the inside. Not going to get the drive. Caley to the inside now. Billy Caley taking over the lead there. Goes a bit wide. Flack takes it right back from him. This is unbelievable racing. Caley back into turn 1, coming out of turn 2 now. Jimmy Flack did his wheel-to-wheel drag race down the backstretch. Flack dives back to the inside. Jimmy Flack back to the lead now. Billy Caley dropping back to the number 2 spot. Not even a tenth of a second. They are 0.003 of a second apart. Caley's up the inside. Caley goes a bit wide, coming into turn 1. Takes over the lead briefly. Comes back into turn 3. Billy Caley, your leader, tries to cut back under Flack. Flack closes the door back on him once again. 5:30 into this one. This is a 12-minute race here for these drivers. Here they come back out of turn 4. They got lap traffic ahead of them. Billy Caley leads the way here. Jimmy Flack, right up the inside. Caley, though, with the drive on the outside. Billy Caley taking over the number 1 spot once again. Jimmy Flack dropping back just a bit here in this one. As they cross the line that time by 0.1 of a second. I say he drops back 0.1 of a second. That is the gap we've got right now. And for these two drivers, that's a big gap to have on Jimmy Flack. 8.895 that last time by for Billy Caley. His fast lap of the race, an 8.780. Jimmy Flack trying to move the inside as they come into turn 3, coming out of turn 4. They've got a whole track of traffic ahead of them just now. Into 1 out of 2, down the backstretch they go. Back around here, Jimmy Flack taking over the number 1 spot now. Billy Caley dropping back to the number 2 spot that time around. 0.09 of a second. Another lap into this one. We are 43 laps into this race. And at the 6:30 mark, this is going to be roughly an 83, 84 lap race it's looking like here for these guys. So just past the halfway mark. Here's the chase cam here of Billy Caley. As you can see, chasing down Jimmy Flack. They are coming up on lap traffic. That's Gebauer just ahead of them there. Chirini up ahead of them. Down the backstretch they go. Coming into turn 3, coming out of turn 4, down the front stretch, diving to the inside there. Caley latching onto the back of Flack. Flack trying to stretch it out here in this one. This is incredible racing here between these two drivers. Hats off to both of them already. At this point, it doesn't matter who comes out on the VRC Pro World Championship. These two are both World Championship drivers, in my opinion, as this is some phenomenal driving. They have nearly a lap or more on the entire field already at this point. 7:20 into this race here. In this one, we're looking at Billy Caley in the number 2 spot. He's now dropped back 0.4 of a second from Jimmy Flack. 0.5 of a second this time by. So Jimmy starting to stretch out his lead just a bit here. Could this be all that Jimmy Flack needed? Jimmy trying to stretch it out here. Lap 51 in the book, coming around for lap number 52. Billy Caley still in second. Stefan Sidler in the number 3 spot. Jiri Gebauer in the 4 spot. Noah Schwartz in that 5 spot. Christoph Enot in 6th. Guillaume Cognon in the 7th spot. Andrea Navati in the 8th spot. Chirini and Anchuras Zavoba rounding out your top 10 here in this one. Wow, this is some wild racing, that is for sure. Jiri Gebauer only going to be 0.2 of a second back from Stefan Sidler. That's going to be the battle for 3rd and 4th now. And Schwartz is only 0.3 of a second back from them in the number 5 spot. So 3, 4, and 5, a great battle for them as well, as we got our eyes on our race leaders here, 1st and 2nd. Jimmy Flack out to a 0.7 of a second lead. Not 7 seconds, 0.7 of a second. As you can see, they are just a little bit of a straightaway, half a straightaway at most apart at this point. Here's Stefan Sidler in the number 3 spot as he is trying to hold off Jiri Gebauer. You see Gebauer right there behind him, coming down the front stretch to go. Sidler in the blue and white, Gebauer behind him there, I believe that in the green and white. Christoph Enot in the number 6 spot here on the blue buggy, blue wheels, coming out of turn 2, down the backstretch he goes. There is Cognon, fast lap for him coming by last time by. It looks like a 9.225. His personal best is an 8.977. Guillaume Cognon. Cognon going to be sitting in the number 7 spot, trying to chase down Enot. They're going to be separated by 4.9 seconds. Navati's away takes 0.8 of a second back from Cognon. Now here is Andrea Navati. 9:05 into this one, down the backstretch they go. There is Chirini as he works his way out of turn 4, coming down the front straight into turn 1 and 2. His fast lap at 8.851 early on in this race. There's Christoph Enot back again to Sidler. Sidler coming out of turn 2. Cognon coming out of turn 2 as well, down the backstretch he goes. But Noah Schwartz sitting in the number 3 spot, only 1/100th of a second ahead of Jiri Gebauer last time by the line. Here's Andrea Navati in the number 8 spot. He actually qualified 4th. So a bit of a rough start here for Navati in this one as he's trying to catch back up as this race winds down. Sidler still in the number 5 spot here. Sidler going to be 0.5 of a second back from Gebauer in 4th. And now Gebauer up into the number 3 spot, it looks like. Sidler jumping up into the number 4 spot, I should say. Christoph Enot in the 5 spot. 10 minutes into this race now. It's Flack, Caley, Gebauer, your top 3. Sidler in the 4 spot, Enot in the 5. Back to our race leader, Jimmy Flack. Followed not that far back, 1.3 seconds back, Billy Caley. This is the closest racing we have seen with Jimmy Flack in many seasons of VRC Pro World Championships here in Dirt Oval. And I tell you what, my hat is off to both those drivers. Just fantastic driving. Here comes Stefan Sidler in that number 4 spot. That time by the line with an 8.983. Christoph Enot, number 5 spot still. Cognon in the 6th spot. There's Enot, Jimmy Flack making his way by there. 10:40 into this one. Here's Sidler once again. Sidler 0.6 of a second out of the top 3 spot, chasing down Jiri Gebauer. Gebauer in the yellow and blue down the front stretch into turn 1, coming out of turn 2, down the back stretch he goes. They got a lap car in between them there. Believe that's going to be Svoboda. And Gebauer into pit lane, it looked like. 11 minutes into this one. It's going to be a 12-minute race here. Arturo Svoboda. And Gebauer is in pit lane. And it looks like he may be doing a battery change here. And they're not quite sure. Meanwhile, back to the front, though. Jimmy Flack out front leading the way here. Billy Caley in the number 2 spot. Stefan Sidler in the 3 spot. Christoph Enot in the 4. Guillaume Cognat in the 5 spot. Navani, Turini, Svoboda, Gebauer, and Schwartz. Your running order here. Jimmy Flack out front leading the way. Look at that, 8.8, 8.8, 8.8, 8.8, all the way down. All the way down. Not 1 lap, not 2. We're looking at a 10-lap range right there. Just consistent 8.8 second laps for Jimmy Flack. That is why he is back out front once again. 2 seconds ahead of Billy Caley. I tell you what, though, Billy Caley has been on a move here in this one. And I can't wait to see these guys paired up again. Hopefully, in a future VRC Pro Dirt Oval World Championship that we've got coming up here in the coming weeks. Here comes Billy Caley down the backstretch into turn 3. And time is going to expire. Jimmy Flack has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Despite the charge from Billy Caley, Jimmy Flack holding him off for another World Championship win. Billy Caley, my hat is off, sir, in the number 2 spot. Stefan Sidler rounding out your top 3. Congratulations once again to the American Jimmy Flack.